Welcome back, boys and girls. I am so glad to see you here. Today we're going to continue what we started last week. So let's look at our essential question and what kind of standards we're going to be using today.
So today you will focus on explaining what the text says both explicitly, which is right there in the text, and inferred, which is something not specifically said but you understand, and based on evidence and background knowledge. You will also look at the meaning of words that you might not understand or that are new to you in a fictional text. As we read, I want you to think about this question. What are Luke, Paul, and their classmates trying to build, and why?
So last time we were reading, or we, left it in the middle of the story of Watch for Steady Rocks, okay? And we learned that Pavel and his friends were in a trail, right? And they were kind of putting rocks in between the side of the mountain, and we were trying to figure out why they were doing all of this. So let's continue with the story to see what's happening with Pavel and his friends. And remember, the word that we're trying to look the meaning for is the word switchback. We saw it a couple of times. Well, I think we are not, there yet to know the meaning of that word. So we stopped here where they were building or talking about walls, okay? So I'm going to reread this paragraph and then continue to the next one. I don't think we could do this on a sand dune, observed Luke. He picked up the rock he had dropped, a freckled stone that resembled a giant misshapen egg. Wedging it between two others in the side of the mountain, he pushed until the rock felt secure. Then he reached for another something, which we said it was a rock, more block shaped, so this one was kind of a square rock, to fill the next gap. So what do you think this trail even made it through? How do you think this trail even made it through the spring without these walls that we're building? He asked, scanning the nearby pile for the next suitable stone. So they're looking for good stones to make make this wall bigger. I don't think it did, said Pavel. Mr. Wade said, when the snow melted this year, the runoff took a big part of the hillside. So if the runoff took a big part of the hillside, what do you think it is? And we're talking about snow melting, okay? And it took a big part of the hillside. So maybe it's like water coming down, okay? Because when the snow melts, it turns into what? Water, okay? So water coming down. The erosion from the water just ate through all of the dirt and made a big mudslide right through the switchbacks. And there's our word again. Now, I underline erosion because I know you've heard that word before in science. And erosion is the movement of Earth's surface. And in this case, this erosion was made by what? Water. So the water moved the earth and it turn it into what? A big mudslide, which it went right through what? Right through the switchbacks. I have another clue right here that tells me what a switchback could be. So it means that a mudslide can go right through the switchbacks. Another clue. Hopefully, this wall makes a difference because my parents won't let my brother and me come back here until it's done. So who is making the wall? I want you to think. Who is making the wall? If you think it's the teachers making the walls, I want you to jump once. If you think that the boys are the ones making the wall, I want you to jump twice. And if you jump twice, you are correct. Yes, the boys are the ones making the wall, or at least helping making the wall, okay? Let's continue. Did anyone get hurt? Inquired Luke, looking over his shoulder at the switchbacks below, he suddenly felt dizzy. He wasn't scared of heights, but suddenly everything started to move, as if the hillside was shifting beneath his feet. Now, question, why do you think he feels like everything is moving? What is happening that he feels like he's dizzy? Let's see if you are correct. Let's keep reading. Nah, who goes hiking in the rain? I think, whoa, yelled Pavel as he saw Lou stagger and trip over the edge of the trail. Oh, that's scary. Let's see what happens. Now, think about this. Who went over the edge? Was it Pavel or was it Luke? If you think it was Pavel, I want you to clap once. If you think it was Luke, I want you to clap twice. It was Luke. Luke was the one that went over the edge. So if you clap twice, you are correct. The next few seconds were a blur. Like Luke tumbled down the hill in a daze. Daze means like, oh, you don't know what's happening. Barely able to call out for help. Pavel ran as quickly as he could along the trail, zigging around one turn and sagging around the other in a vain attempt to catch up with his classmate. Who is Pavel trying to catch up with? Luke. He's trying to save Luke. Grab the wall, he screamed, watching as Luke rolled over another switchback. There's our word again. He kept scurrying down the trail, working his way frantically around every bend. Luke's senses snapped into focus as he reached for the nearest gray blur, grasping onto a large rock he had put into place just a couple of hours earlier. He swung his other arm around quickly and hung onto the stout stone wall in a stupor. Ooh, there's a word that we might not know. So I want you to think about this, okay? First, stand up, because I want you to pick a side. If you think that the word stupor means kind of like daze, I want you to take a step to the left. If you think that the word stupor means that you're happy about what's happening, I want you to take a step to the right. If you took a step to the left, you are correct. Okay, stupor means kind of like in a daze. So he doesn't know where he is. He's kind of like, whoa, what is happening? Let's continue reading. Suddenly, he could feel the scrapes on his legs and arms, and he tasted dirt in his mouth. Well, that's not good. Are you okay? Pavel asked as he kneeled next to Luke. Both boys were out of breath and trembling. One of their teachers called from higher up, and Pavel waved to signal that they weren't hurt. Oh, thank goodness that they're okay. Luke took a deep breath and glanced to the side. His bottle rolled up to the edge of the wall their class had built to stop erosion from making a slippery death trap off this trail. The cap was nowhere to be found, and water trickled out the top, pooling at the side of the trail and trickling in the cracks between the stones. So wait. Did the wall stop the water? At least not forming a mudslide? This is kind of neat. I guess it works, he said, looking at Pavel with wide eyes. What works? What is he talking about? If you think that they're talking about that the trail works, I want you to stomp once. If you think that what is working is the wall, I want you to stomp twice. If you stomp twice, you are correct. They think that the wall that they built out of rocks works and is stopping what? The erosion from the water. So do you think now that Pavel and his brothers or his friends are going to be safe to use this trail? I think they will. So let's look back at our essential question and see if you know the answer to it. Why did Luke, Pavel, and his friends build a wall? Why do you think they built a wall? So hopefully you guys had fun learning and using all these reading strategies, and I can't wait to see you guys next week, okay? So until next time, adios.